Hi everyone. This video is a book review about a book that has been sitting on my shelf for approximately 2 years, and the title of this book is Words for Mothers to Live By, and it is illustrated by Mary Engelbreit. The reason this book has been on my shelf for about 2 years is because my mother gave it to me as a present and I didn't want to give it away. I am an only child. I'm my mother's only child, and I was my father's only child. I don't have any children of my own, but my mother gave me the book because she knows I love Mary Engelbreit's visual art, and she knows that one day I'll be a mother. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about Mary Engelbreit. I'm going to be discussing my, brief fandom of Mary Engelbreit. Of course, go into the book review, and hopefully at the end of this video, I'll be able to share photographs of my mother with you as a tribute to her. So, Mary Engelbreit, she is a visual artist. She was born June 5th, 1952, so I guess that makes her a Gemini or so. She has been drawing since she was a child, and her parents were very supportive of her talents, which is pretty cool because sometimes a person will be a visual artist and they don't get that type of support or investment from those who are close to them. She had, I don't know if she still has it, but she had her own magazine. She had a brief stint in advertisement, but it didn't last too long because they were trying to suppress her, they were trying to suppress her style. Mary Engelbreit has a very specific style. In fact, she signs all of her artwork with this signature, which says Me, which stands for Mary Engelbreit. She said in an article that her visual art was influenced by the fairy tales that she read. So if you go to her website, which I'll post below in the description box, you go to her website, you'll see that her art is very whimsical, it's very fun and colorful and has patterns and all sorts of different things. But as she matured in her artistry, her visual art changed, or the way she conveyed certain art changed. And I'll tell you that later in this video. She used to have a store. She used to have a store in the St. Louis Galleria. The store began as a kiosk in Union Station in 1986. Union Station is, I guess, a historical place slash event space slash family fun space in St. Louis. It used to be a train station. Back in the day, it had the fudge people singing. They would sing and make fudge. And if you've ever been to St. Louis and you've gone to the fudge factory or whatever, those people can sing, okay? But right now, Union Station is an aquarium. So it started off as a kiosk in 1986. Then in 1988, the store moved to Webster Groves, which is kind of a well-to-do part of town. In 1990 or 91, it moved to the St. Louis Galleria, which is a mall, and it stayed there until 2007. So Mary Engelbreit had her visual art on cups and plates and anything you could possibly think of. Now, I have been a fan of hers since I was a child. In fact, her visual art inspired how I create visual art. Another influence on me is Fred H. Crumb. But Mary Engelbreit's style truly influenced me, and it made me focus more on my details and my patterns, and that is one of the reasons I'm an illustrator slash visual artist to this day. Now, even though she is in St. Louis, I have never gotten a chance to meet her. The one time that I did get a chance to almost meet her was when she was having an event at the library, and everybody was there. The room was so full of people waiting to see her and meet her and get their books and everything signed. But on that night, she became very ill and she wasn't able to make it. So they told us to give whatever we wanted her to sign to them, and that she would ship it off to us. So I ended up getting a box signed by Mary Engelbreit. It says, "For Kiara, Mary Engelbreit." One of the things that Mary Engelbreit will do in a lot of her images are place, I guess, captions at the bottom, funny quotes, just different things that go along with the picture. This says, "If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it." Yeah. Because she has a brick wall facing her window. This is another Mary Engelbreit thing that I have, a box. And you'll notice she just has little patterns all over the place. So that is my brief Mary Engelbreit story. Now this book that she has written is a collection of quotes, sayings, proverbs, all related to mothers and motherhood. And she has paired her illustrations with these quotes. So as I go through the book, I'm going to show you some of my favorite visual art, some of my favorite quotes, and we will discuss them as we go along. This book was published by Andrews McNeil Publishing Company, based in Kansas City, if it's still in existence. It was published in the year 2000, which means this book is literally 20 years old. I thought that was kind of cool. It starts off with a few words from Mary Engelbreit. The first picture has a mom and two robots, which represent her teenage sons. It says, "I can honestly say that if I weren't a mother, I wouldn't be where I am today. And because I am a mother, where I am today is probably sitting home worrying whether my two teenage sons are safe and behaving in a way that wouldn't make me wince." And this part, it gets very sad, because as you know, this book was published in the year 2000. And in 2000, one of her sons passed away tragically. Like, it was just very tragic. And that was June, so a little bit after her birthday in late June. As a result of his death, I believe she got custody of his child, his daughter, and she states that this helped her to heal and help the family to heal as they were going through the grieving process, because the baby brought so much joy and life into the family. But it's amazing how all of these different life events can have an effect on a person's career and art. This is a picture of her mom, a drawing she made of her mom. And she says this image was inspired by her mother because she would hang her visual art on the walls in frames. So let me see some of the pictures that I liked. This picture, the quote below is, "A mother is not a person to lean on, but a person to make leaning unnecessary." Dorothy Canfield Fisher. I like this photograph, or this drawing, because I think the little girl represents Mary Engelbreit, but this is a very St. Louis base. So I guess it's called a trellis. I don't know what that's called, but the arch has the roses. Then there's the two cardinals, and as you know, our baseball team is the Cardinals. Like, St. Louis is very very Cardinals fan. I've never been to a Cardinals game. There's a steamboat in the background. There's the old courthouse. There's a little girl going home with her drawings, Mary Engelbreit. So yeah, I really like that image. Okay, a quote about mothers. "She broke the bread into 2 fragments and gave them to the children, who ate with avidity. 'She hath kept none for herself,' grumbled the sergeant. 'Because she is not hungry,' said a soldier. 'Because she is a mother,' said the sergeant." Victor Hugo. I like this quote because it talks a lot about how a mother will sacrifice so much for her children. how a mother can literally make something out of nothing. And this is just from me watching single mothers and me with my own mother. Like my mother, she sacrificed a lot. She was a single mother, and she would invest so much in me. She also invested in my art career as well, trying to sell my art, putting me in art classes, sending me care packages in college and all of that stuff. Trying to network with different people to get my art out there, and just doing everything she could in her power to make my visual art noticed by people, putting me in choir, extracurricular activities. I know a girl or a woman who has 4 boys, all under the age of, all under the age of 15. So she has a pair of twins and 2 other boys. She's a single mom. She was in college, and she was in nursing, and she was raising her kids. I don't even know how she did it. I literally don't know how she did all of these things. But she had like straight A's in schools, straight success in her career field. A mother will give the clothes off of her back for her child. A mother will give her last piece of bread to her baby. She will sacrifice sleep, getting gum out of a child's hair that's got gum stuck in her hair or something like that. Just the little things that mothers do every day. Then, this picture, the big day, it's a mom with her daughter, I guess on the day of her wedding. And it's funny because, as you can see, the daughter looks like a little girl, even though she's probably in her 20s or so. To the mother, this is her baby. This will always be her baby, no matter how old she gets. This actually reminds me of when my younger cousin got married last year. She went into the room to go have a conversation with her mother, and it was cute. It was like they spent time together before the wedding, and this is what this reminds me of. That's why I like it so much. This picture is very powerful. It says, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you." Khalil Gibran. I like this picture because it shows more diversity in Mary Englebright's visual art. I feel that as Mary has grown as an artist, she has diversified in the images she has created. Because I remember early on, I would see a couple of like people of color here and there, but not that many. But after Ferguson, she got a lot of flack from people because she started creating visual art that was protest art. And I'm going to show it to you as I look for it and talk about it. So after Michael Brown was lynched in Ferguson, Mary Englebright basically made some protest art. She wasn't very political in her art before. She just kind of did her art and put it out there. But after all of this stuff went down, she decided to just express her mind, and a lot of people got mad. Here's one. She says it was inspired by Mike Brown's mother. "No one should have to teach their children this in the USA." And it is a black mother crying with her baby, and his hands are up, and the newspaper says, "Hands up, don't shoot. Everywhere, USA." Then, this one, "I will not stay silent so that you can stay comfortable." Hey, see, this reminds me of when Norman Rockwell started making his protest artwork. He did a painting of Ruby Bridges as she was walking to school, and it shows like the N word on the wall and somebody throws a tomato at her. Because when Ruby Bridges was walking to school back in the day, there'd be crowds of people standing outside cursing her out and yelling at her and having like dolls with lynching ropes around their necks and all of these different things. So I'm glad that as Mary Engelbreit has grown as an artist, she's becoming more bolder with her style, and she is not letting anybody sway her from what she believes in. But anyway, about this quote, your children are not your children, and that's true because we are all just sharing this earth. Together. The children come through us. We are the vessel to bring these souls through. And because they are here, we have to appreciate them, you know? We can't just be like, oh, you're here, you're my, I'm going to order you around for the rest of your life. You are here to do my every bidding. That's not what the soul came here for. Some souls are here to create music. Some are here to heal people with medical degrees. Some are here to dance. Like, we cannot completely control a child's vocation, and we have to know that sometimes we only get our children for a little bit, no matter how hard it is. Some of us only get our child for like 80 years or less if we outlive them. Some of us only get our child within the womb, you know? So we just have to appreciate our children while they are with us, because they are our own lessons. They help us to learn more about ourselves. Mother, give me the sun. I think it's Henrik Ibsen. I like this illustration because it reminds me of the story Flossie and the Fox. That's what the little girl looks like. It is a mother. It looks like an African mother. Hold on. I'm looking for more. All that I am or hope to be, I owe to my mother. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, he lost his mother at an early age. I cannot remember how she passed. I think she ate something or drank milk that was poisoned for a cow. And even though I'm not a fan of Abraham Lincoln, I really like this quote because it is true. All that I am or hope to be, I owe to my mother. Even if a person has had a toxic relationship with their mother, there is no denying that the mother had an extreme impact on a person's life, whether they liked them or not. All that I am, just that first line, all that I am or hope to be. All that you are growing in your mother's womb. Whatever your mother ate, you ate. Whatever your mother thought became your thoughts. Whatever your mother's stress levels were affected you genetically. Even if you had the healthiest father, depending on what the mother did during her pregnancy, actually formed you, so it is all that you are. She did create all that you are on a physical level too. Or hope to be, I owe to my mother. Some of us strive to be better mothers. I'm just going to target this to mothers or parents. Some of us strive to be better parents because our parents were wonderful parents, whereas others strive to be better parents because our parents were just not that great of parents. Louise Hay, she had very toxic parents, but as a result of those toxic parents, she became a healthy, spiritually oriented person, and she formed her life in a way that affected the lives of millions to help them heal themselves on a spiritual and physical level. So, in actuality, some type of good came out of it. There is no other closeness in human life like the closeness between a mother and her baby. They are just a few heartbeats away from being the same person, Susan Cheever. So true. So true. This is an image of Mary Engelbright's mother, or one of her drawings. And it's called Good Old Mom. I think this is a very funny quote, so I'm going to read it to you. Now listen and believe me. I am not saying this because I'm your mother. You are the prettiest, nicest girl in the entire school, not to mention the brightest. And if you don't believe me, just go look in the mirror. I happen to know that there are dozens of young men who would give their teeth to go out with a wonderful girl like you. Boys are shy too, you know. Don't you worry. Someday your ship will come in. I love it because it does sound just like a mother, you know. I think sometimes when moms talk to us, they're actually talking to the younger version of themselves. Even though I don't have children right now, I'm already lecturing them in my mind. Like the things I will say. I already have a whole list of words of wisdom for my children. Don't trust a person with a Colgate smile. Well, I heard that from movies. But yeah, like this mom is giving her a pep talk. And sometimes the mom thinks the child isn't listening, but the child is listening. And even if it doesn't make sense then, it'll make sense in the future. And what's funny is her mother was right, because when Mary Engelbright was about 22, that's when she met her husband. It says, when a mother finally decides to give her daughter some advice, the mother usually learns plenty. Teenagers. The walks and talks we have with our 2-year-olds in red boots have a great deal to do with the values they will cherish as adults. Edith F. Hunter. That quote is so true. And this is just from me watching different parents with their toddlers. Some people don't realize that the way they talk to their children is how their children are going to be talking to the world. If you talk down to your children, don't be surprised if your children talk down to their children or talk down to somebody outside of themselves. So that's why we always have to be careful how we even talk to them, because they're brand new, they're in this world. You don't have to just yell at them, unless like sometimes yelling is called for. But trying to talk to them in a logical way, trying to talk to them in an understanding way, instead of punishing them for being who they are or who they remind you of, can have a very large impact on society. And for the 3 magic gifts I needed to escape the poverty of my hometown, I thank my mother who gave me a sewing machine, a typewriter, and a suitcase. Alice Walker. There's so many stories I read of like mothers giving their life savings to their child, like, or not just mothers, just parents in general. One parent I can think of isn't a mother, it's a father. It was Beyonce's father who put up their house to fund her career. Whereas her mother was there. Her mother made most of her outfits. She was in the background doing different things. She was keeping her humble, keeping her poised and classy. She mirrored the classiness of her mother and the creativity and drive of her mother. A lot of people will mirror the ones that truly affect them the most, you know? Mother issues and daddy issues can destroy or transform a life. Some people, they'll hold on to the pain that has happened between them and their mother. There's people in this world that don't even talk to their mother. Like, their mother is literally in the same town and they just stop talking, just ostracize her. But others use it where they're just like, okay, I'm going to just be a better person. Alice Walker's mother investing in her like that reminds me of all of the things my mom invested in me. Time, energy, money. She still sends me money. I'm like, stop it, Mom. Like, please. But she still sends me, even though I'm full grown. But I appreciate her. We never know the love of our parents have for us till we become parents. Henry Ward Beecher. Youth fades, love droops, the leaves of friendships fall, a mother's secret love outlives them all. Oh my goodness, that is so, I'm sorry, I keep saying that's so true, but it is. It truly is. You could literally be a 100-time felon and your mother will just still see a baby. Your mother will see her baby. If the closest thing to the unconditional love of God is a mother's love. My sister said once, anything I don't want mother to know, I don't even think of if she's in the room. Agatha Christie. Yes. I don't know how my moms sometimes have this psychic thing going on. My mom has this thing where she knows something is wrong. If something's going on with me, she knows. But the scariest thing is she knows when I need something. So one time I was at my house, just sitting, thinking of the things I needed. I was like, dang, I need a webcam. I need like toilet paper. I would like some chocolate, and I would like this and that and this and that. Why did my mother call me and say she was on her way? I didn't call her anything. She literally had everything I thought in my mind. She had a webcam, she had toilet paper, she had chocolate, and like 7 other things. I'm just, how did you know? How? I don't know. Now that I am in my 40s, she tells me I'm beautiful, and we have the long personal and even remarkably honest phone calls I always wanted so intensely. I forbade myself to imagine them. With my poems, I finally won even my mother the longest wooing of my life. Marge Piercy. And the last bit is, my home is in my mother's eyes. Aww. So yeah, I think this is a good book to give as a present for those of you who are new mothers, those of you who are already mothers or thinking about becoming one, or those who just want to mother in general, like just be a person of unconditional love to the world. The world needs mothers. The world needs people who care. That's why in, let's say, Catholicism, Mother Mary is so popular. People feel they can come to the Virgin Mary. People feel that they can come to another person, like if there's a goddess somewhere, like they feel they can relate more. They feel safer with this person, the mother figure. The mother figure is a figure that has transformed or outlasted time. Has lasted through time. Even when we die, in most cultures, we're going into a coffin. That's like returning to the womb. Going back to the earth till we return, the Great Mother. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I can place images of my mother at the end, and if not, I hope you all have a beautiful day, and happy reading to you all.